What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall markets. I want to talk about some key levels to watch for SPY is up 3% right now with the news that there's a US and China trade deal that just came out. I'm also going to talk about some key levels to watch for if we can sustain these levels. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you sign up and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposits $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. Deposit $5,000, you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. The offer ends on June 3rd. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with this market. So, as you guys know, the market's on fire right now. SPY is up 3%, but the question remains, can we hold these levels? I'll talk about that in just a second. Let's first talk about this really big US trade deal with China. US Trade Representative Jamieson Greer and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, they announced the trade cuts on a news conference in Geneva, Switzerland. Greer said that the U.S. would cut its tariffs on Chinese goods from being as high as 145% to 30%. That's a massive difference. In return, China is going to be reducing its tariffs on U.S. imports from 125% to 10%. And the lower tariffs are going to remain in place for 90 days to cool the tensions and allow more negotiations to take place. Both of the U.S. officials are saying there was substantial progress that was made in resolving their trade disputes, and they mentioned that they were moving forward in the spirit of mutual opening, continued communication, cooperation, and mutual respect. So that is good news, at least so far. Massive news for Amazon, Tesla, and many companies that depend a lot on China. Apple's on fire, so is Tesla and big tech, and that's why the market's pushing so nicely. When it comes to this deal, I just want to say that both nations are once again agreeing to lower their tariffs, at least temporarily, for 90 days. And this is some good news because many economists are saying that this could also start to open hope for other trade partners, such as the European Union and more areas as well. So that's some good news so far as these negotiations continue. That's awesome news, what's in my personal opinion. On top of this is a sign of relief for like Best Buy, Amazon, lots of big tech stocks. There's been lots of talk about how these tariffs were to be, coming down. President Trump did talk about that, and we got a lot of updates over the weekend. And I was expecting a move like this. We did expect them to announce some kind of deal, which I was talking about yesterday. And I did say this could cause the market to rally. As you can tell, we're up quite a bit. And then we have an update on what the tariffs are looking like so far. So with these tariffs coming down, with them being slashed so far, this is optimistic. But keep in mind, there's more negotiations to go on for the next couple of weeks, according to the Treasury Secretary. And then finally, if you look at the tariffs now, the tariffs on China are now 30% max during a 90-day window. Okay. We have lots of tariffs that still remain at 10% on the majority of countries, though those remain right now. Um, on top of this, there's going to be duties on Canada and Mexico, 25% tariffs that are not covered by the USMCA agreement, and then 10% on energy. So keep that in mind. Um, we also have tariffs on steel and aluminum at 25%, with the exception so far being Great Britain. And then tariffs on foreign made vehicles are at 25%. And then another exception is Great Britain. And we have duties on some auto parts. So that's what the tariffs look like so far. Just want to give you guys an update on that. Besides that, when it comes to our economic calendar, today is Monday, May 12th. At 10:25, we have Kugler giving a speech. At 11:30 a.m., we have the 3 and 6 month bill auctions. Besides that, the market's greedy. It should be even more greedy by the time we open. We should be looking for momentum to become less fearful by the time we open to push higher. The puts call option ratio is dipping as we're seeing less fear and should become more neutral. And the VIX is at support, so we'll see how well it holds up. And then last but not least, this is what the earnings calendar looks like. I'm going to go over those more later on. But for now, the question remains, can we sustain these levels? So we're going to gap up very strongly when we open. Okay, and it's awesome. The news is very awesome. The tariffs on China are going down to about 30% max. That's a big news for all these big tech companies. But the question remains, can we sustain these levels? Because we're in new territory. We haven't seen SPY this high since many months. So this is some big news, and we have to see how well we sustain these levels. As of right now, I just want to note that we're looking quite bullish, and we are holding up very nicely, but I'm not 100% sure if we hold this level quite strongly. So watch 580. If we don't hold 580 right here, I could be looking at this level to be revisited around this 576 area. So watch and see if 580 holds. If we hold above 580, we're looking for an attempt to go up towards this resistance right here at 584. So 584 is going to be next alongside 586. This range near 585 would be next if we could hold above 580 from here. And then if that breaks, we're looking for 590. So it's very simple. Can we hold 580 or not? I'm not 100% sure yet. We have to see what happens with more news and see how well this holds up. I do think we could attempt to push for 585. It's possible we try to go a little bit higher, but be careful. If we break 585, we remain bullish. And if we lose 580, we're looking for a dip back down towards 576. Otherwise, we're kind of trading like this, and we'll just have to see which way we go. We should get more announcements from President Trump and his team. So this could still launch us higher for 585 plus, but we'll see just to be safe. So watch that range. We're in new territory for SPY. So we want to play this very safely and very patiently nonetheless. On the QQQ, this is fighting at 507.5. It's a tough resistance. If we break that, we're looking for this 510 area right here. If that breaks on the QQQ, I could see us launching for 512 plus. Now, if we end up losing, however, 503, we're looking for a move back down towards the low 500s. So make sure you watch your levels very closely. If we lose 503, look for a dip back down to 500 or below to fill that gap. If we lose 500, if we break 510, we're looking for an attempt to go higher. As of right now, we're range bound between 503 and 510. So I do think we could consolidate around the 507 range. And we'll see what happens from here. So be very, very careful. Can we hold 503 or not? On the IWM, we're trying to push a little bit higher right here. We're doing a good job so far. Let's look at this resistance right here around this 210 area. If we break this, we're looking for 212. If we end up losing 207, we're looking for a dip back down towards 205. So that's our range, 210 to 207. That's your main range on the IWM. So we'll see how well we hold up here. Can we break 210 to go higher? If not, we're looking for 207 or below. On ES, we basically have 5850 to 5900 is our main range. If we could break above 5875, we're looking for 5900. And if we end up losing support right here around this 5800 area, we're looking for a dip back down towards 5750. So those are your levels to watch for on ES. Lose 5800, we're looking for a dip to 5750 basically if we lose 5800. So keep that in mind. For now, we do look like we're going to try to shuffle between 5850 and 5900 for the time being, but we have to break those to continue to go higher. So I'll be watching to see if we can break resistance right over here. So I'm watching us kind of shuffle for now, and we'll see if we go higher or not. But if we don't hold 5800, we're looking for a move lower. So be very careful with these levels for now. For NQ, we're looking bullish. We're looking for basically 21,000 as our target. If that breaks, we're looking for 21,250 as our next resistance. If we end up losing 20,800, we're looking for a dip back down towards 20,500. Could go either way as we're still technically range bound. But if we can't hold above 21,200, we're looking for a dip back down towards these imbalances. So watch your levels very closely. For Bitcoin, we're just consolidating right here. We basically want to see if this could break past 106,000. If we lose 103,000, we're looking for a dip back down to 101,000. I think we just consolidate for now, and we'll see if we can break out higher or not. But it might slow down in case we can't do that. So be careful around that 103,000 mark. For Tesla, we're looking bullish, but I do want to warn you, we have to see how well we can hold above 320. If 320 fails us, we're looking for like 315. And if we end up breaking past 325, we're looking for an attempt for 330. Could go either way here. We'll see if we shuffle a bit for now, and we'll see how well we can break above 325 to continue. If we lose 320, I do expect us to dip a little bit lower. So we just have to see how well we can hold above 320 by the time we close. Just for confirmation, on Nvda, we have a tough resistance at 122 to 124. So this is your range, 124 to 120. If we break 124, we're looking for a push higher. If we lose 120, we turn back down. I do think we kind of consolidate like this, at least for the time being. So we'll see if we break 120 to come back down or not, but I do see some consolidation as a strong possibility. For Apple, we're looking a bit more bullish as we have 213 to 215 as our resistance. If we end up losing 206, we're turning back down. I do think this has potential to go a little bit higher for the 214 to 215 area. Then we'll see how well we hold up here. If we can hold above 210, I do remain more bullish. If we fail at 210, though, we're looking for an attempt to get back down to 206. So watch your levels just to be safe. For Coinbase, we're in the middle right here. There's a big gap over here. We need to break past 210 to continue to push more. If we can't do that, there's going to be a risk of us returning to 202. On Amazon, we look more bullish. We're looking for an attempt to get back up towards this 210 area. If that breaks, we're looking for essentially 214. However, if we can't break 210, we're going to be likely dipping back down towards 204. If that fails us, we might be dipping towards 200. So watch your levels. If we lose 204 on Amazon, look for 200. If we break past 210, we're looking for an attempt for 214 plus. We're in the middle right here on Amazon. We just want to see how well we can hold above 210. It is new territory. We're also 8% up, so be a little bit careful. Meta is at resistance. We need to get back above like, 635 to continue. If we break that, I do remain bullish. But if we can't hold above 630, we're looking for the support right here at 600 and this level right here, the 620 area. If 620 fails us, then we could be dipping back down. So we'll just have to see how it goes as we're still technically range bound. For Microsoft, we have this resistance right over here around this 450 area. If we end up losing 444, we could turn back down to fill the gap. We're in the range right here, so I could be looking for a retest of 444, but we'll see if we bounce off this or not. Microsoft is up quite a bit. Google's looking more bullish. We want to see if this could break past 160. If that does break, we're going higher. I was talking about a double bottom and a bounce. We actually dipped a little bit only to bounce very nicely. But watch 160. We need to break 160 to remain bullish. If we don't break 160, we could turn back down to fill the gap at 155. So watch your levels just to be safe. The VIX is more bearish for now, which is bullish for the markets. For now, we're looking bullish, but keep in mind, as the VIX is bearish, the market's looking a bit more bullish. But my point is, even if we are trying to push a bit more, can we hold above 580 on SPY? That's the big question we'll be watching to get answered. Can we hold 580? So be careful. If we're above 580, I do remain more bullish. If we can't hold 580, we could turn back down to 576. So watch that very closely as the day progresses. And I thank you all so much for listening. Have a good one, guys, and peace out.